Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show. Yeah, hey. It's the Ordinary Average Guy Podcast Show coming at you. Previously recorded from the Buxty Hootie Studios. The Buxty Hootie Studios, I just hired a band. I signed a band. They're going to record their demo in the Buxty Hootie Studios. They toured the Buxty Hootie Studios. They loved it. They really liked the boxes, the Christmas decorations, Halloween decorations. They really enjoyed all the stuff in the corner that didn't sell at our last rummage sale. They're really psyched about recording their next. Actually, I think it's a full length record. The band is going to be doing it, so I can't talk too much about it though because the band it's under wraps at the moment. It's a Nigel Lennox deal. He hooked me up with the band. So anyway, I don't want to get your hopes up or anything, but the Buxty Hootie Studios is hopefully going to be making some revenue. They really enjoy the furnace sounds in the background. Hey, how's everyone doing, huh? Jeez, how's everyone doing? My God, huh? What do you think? What do you think about this weather? 70 degrees, 60 degrees one day, and now it's blowing like the town whore outside. The wind, that is blowing. My backyard looks like a tornado hit it. I came home and all our patio, I had the patio furniture out. It's all over. The one chair is in the middle of the yard. It's like, what in the hell is going on? But that's what you get when you live on top of a hill. I live on top of a hill. And there's not much trees, right? So the wind is the wind can be a bitch, but that's what you get. That's what you get. Easter weekend. How was Easter weekend for everyone, huh? Did you stay away from the snacks? I did a pretty good job compared to 2024, Justin. I'll tell you that right now. I did a really good job compared to 2024, Justin. I had a couple snacks here and there, but nothing crazy. Kept it, low key. My wife's she's doing this health kick right now, and she made supper tonight. And my God, it was delicious. Shout out to Casadilla. She made chicken and broccoli. I mean, it was just chicken and broccoli is all it was, but I don't know what kind of sauce I think she made it with love, is what she did. She made it with love. And when you cook, now I don't do a lot of cooking. I would like to do more. But when you cook, if you make it with love, it turns out so much better. And chicken and broccoli is all it was. And it was, oh, God damn it, was it good. Whoo, was it good. But anyway, I'm really excited because now she's on this health kick too. So, and she does, like I say, 99.9% of the cooking. And so now we're going to be eating good. We're going to be eating good food. It's going to be healthy. It's going to be tasty. And by God, I just might keep on losing weight. You know what I mean? I just might keep losing weight. But Easter, all the kids looking for their Easter eggs. Oh, is it just the most cutest thing in the world? It's finding eggs, finding their Easter baskets, looking all over the house. We quote unquote emailed the Easter Bunny, just in case you have little ears around. We emailed the Easter Bunny this year and asked the Easter Bunny if he or they, I don't know. The Easter Bunny is not really for, no one really knows, I guess. I mean, I guess the assumption is it's a man, but I don't know. Has there ever been any stories or tales written about the Easter Bunny where it's as plain as day that it's a man? It could be a woman. I'll have to look into that. I'll look into that once and get back to you before next Easter. But Easter weekend, the Easter Bunny came on Saturday. We are a family that goes to church, right? Probably not as much as the guy should, but we definitely go on Easter for sure. No offense if you don't go on Easter, but come on, man. If you're gonna call yourself a Christian and say you believe in God, I mean, you should probably show up on Easter. I'm just saying. Now you might be saying, well, you don't gotta go to church. Well, all right, whatever. But it's nice. It's fun. I enjoy it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I get out of bed and like, oh, let's go to church. But on Easter it's a fun one. They got usually every week you got the organ playing. Dun 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 dun. But at Easter they got I don't know if they hire these guys out or if they're part of the congregation or what, but they got trumpets going. Some stringed. It's just I don't know. Everyone's happy, right? It's a happy day. Spring, people are just in a good mood, and everyone's singing and having a good time. I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't mind, but I think the reason why I enjoyed Easter this year is because I finally was able to fit into my nice Easter shirt without the buttons, holding on for dear life. See, I got Christmas and Easter is when I really pull out the nice clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like this guy, kind of guy that wears these fancy clothes all the time. I'm not a fancy boy, you know what I'm saying? But on Easter and Christmas, it's the same outfit every year, but it's a nicer outfit. But for the last few years, I've been on Christmas Eve, for example, I have to wear a sweater. You know what I'm saying? Because the button-up shirt I wear, it's too tight. And so it's like I got to wear a sweater over the top of that. I'm uncomfortable. Easter, I have, see, the thing is when you're a guy like me, a yo-yo dieter, it's called, you have clothes in your closet that you're going to fit into someday. That's the idea. You could throw them out. You could put them out at the rummage sale. You could take them to Goodwill. You could give them to the needy, people that need clothes. But I say none of that. Sorry, guy on the corner. You're not getting this shirt because someday it's going to fit like a glove. And I got a couple shirts in the closet yet that fit. I can wear them. I can get them on. I can get them buttoned, but gee, just a little on the tight side. You know what I'm saying? Just a little too tight. You can see those boobies a little too much, and so I got a little ways to go on that. But yeah, it was a fantastic WrestleMania. I was told by a couple of, I apologize. I'm trying to figure this podcast out, right? We're 48 episodes in. I wanted to do a podcast on WrestleMania, and it just didn't time out. It just didn't work out. There's only so many hours in a day, a man once told me. And it doesn't change from day to day. I wish I could, that movie Click with Adam Sandler? How sweet would that be? Oh, man, I'd use that frickin' remote all the time. Click, pause it. I wouldn't see, in that movie, if you've seen the movie, there's a message in that movie. There's a message. And the message is that you shouldn't take for granted the time you have on this earth, right? If you haven't seen the movie, I apologize. I'm going to spoil it today. Spoiler alert on the movie Click from, I don't know, 20 years ago. Oh, and just so you know, Bruce Willis is dead. Anyway, yeah, so he has this remote control, right? Well, he ends up fast forwarding all the good times, right? So he's sick on the weekend, and he fast forwards the weekend to Monday. So he feels better, but it's Monday. So he fast forwards the weekend. You know what I'm saying? This guy's like a workaholic, they call him. And next thing you know, there's a caveat. There's fine print in the contract that, like, if you fast forward through a sickness, the next time you get sick, you automatically get fast forwarded through it. Well, he ends up getting like cancer or something maybe not cancer. I don't know what it is, but he ends up fast forwarding like a bunch of his life away, you know. And when he's fast forwarding, he's still there, but his body is just kind of going through the motions, kind of thing, and he's not taking it all in. And by the end of the movie, he realizes that he fast forwarded all the wrong things, right? You want to fast forward things like going to work, fast forward. But to be 100% honest with you, I wouldn't fast forward anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my journey of health and wellness, I've discovered a thing called mindfulness. Now, not to be all, monkish on you or Tibet, or what's that city? What is that? Tibet. I don't know. There's a city, I think, or like a mountain in Asia, right, where a bunch of monks live or whatever, and they practice all this stuff. I don't know. I am only at chapter 2, but anyway. So, mindfulness is the act of being in the now, right? Being in the now. Being mindful of your surroundings and not worrying about the future or reliving the past, right? The past is in the past. The future is in the future. and the reason they call the present time the present is because it's a gift. Yeah, I'm hitting you with some we're doing a deep dive today, ladies and gentlemen. The present is a gift. And I don't want to fast forward it. I just want to live in the now. What I would do with the remote control from Click, though, is pause it. I would pause and do things like a podcast or do things like a timed test. Do stuff like that. That's how I would use the remote control. Why don't you send me your emails on how you would use the remote control from the 2007 movie Click, starring Adam Sandler? J-Kenn, OAG at Outlook.com. I think it's 2007. I'm not sure. I would look it up on my phone, but I only got 4% battery, and I got emails to read, baby. Ugh. Do you know how nervous I am right now? Thinking about the future of my phone. I need to be more mindful of the present. What I could do is just skip ahead. Yeah, that's what I'm at. No, I'm not going to, because I got something I want to talk about here quick. So on speaking of health and wellness, I bought, as you all know, I'm sitting on a pile of cash right now, and I recently bought for $60, which I thought was maybe reasonable. It's called a sauna suit. Now, you might remember, I think people might call it a sweat suit. It is famously known for like wrestlers or like UFC people who are cutting weight, They wear these suits to lose weight real fast. You lose like an insane amount of weight. It's all water weight, doesn't count. But through my journey of looking stuff up, I came across that the sauna suit is what it's called. Actually, nowadays it's called a sauna suit. There's a lot of benefits to it. Now, the idea here is you need to use it safely because you do get extremely hot and you do sweat a lot. You lose a lot of water weight, which, of course, you need water. Otherwise, you get dehydrated, and you don't want that. That's not good. That's not good. But there's a lot of pros to it as well. And I bought it, and I got it in the mail yesterday. from Amazon.com. Now, I would have loved to have bought it from a local store, but they didn't have them. None of them. You don't get a sweatsuit at a boutique store. You know what I'm saying? But maybe that's something you guys got to think about. If you own a boutique store, maybe you should start stocking some sauna suits in there. But anyway, I bought because I did buy one. Okay, so here, I did buy one at Walmart, and it was like $12, right? And I wore it on a treadmill, and I wore it for 25 minutes, and I got a hole in it, and I was so pissed, and I'm like, this piece of junk. So I threw it out. I said, enough of that. I should have took it back to Walmart, and I should have said, hey, you're selling me junk here. But you know what? You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. If you pay $12 for a sauna suit, sweatsuit, whatever the hell it's called, it's probably going to rip on you. So I had to throw that out. And I went on the old internet there, and I went on YouTube, and I saw this guy running in this suit, and he was talking about it, and I bought the one he had, affiliate link. And I would put an affiliate link in the show notes, but I don't know how it works, and I don't know. I don't know how that works. Affiliate links. I could put a lot of affiliate links. I've been giving so many people some free press. It's unreal. I've been talking about, they talked about that a couple weeks ago, about all these things that I think are cool, and I talk about them, and you guys go flocking and buying them, I'm sure, and I don't get a goddamn red cent on it. Anyway, so I got this sauna suit, and tonight I wore it on the old treadmill. This is a nice suit. This is a nice suit, let me tell ya. You zip it all up, and there's there's no ventilation. There's none, nada. And I like it. Now, for all you health nuts at home, don't worry. I had a big old bottle of water sitting right there. I was sucking that water dry, baby, and staying hydrated. But the idea, so then you might be thinking to yourself, well, if you're drinking all this water, then what the hell are you wearing a sweatsuit for? Because you're losing. The idea is not to lose weight via water weight. The idea, there's other pros and cons. So the old Ken man here did you a favor, and he looked up some pros and he looked up some cons, and I'm going to share them with you now. Exciting stuff, I know. Exciting stuff, I know. The pros and cons of a sauna suit. And that's all. And since we're talking about church, let's all say a little prayer that my phone doesn't die. Or otherwise, I am screwed. I'm so effed if this phone dies on me. Let's check it out. Let's go. And this is from lots of research here. Sauna suits. The pros and cons and how to use them. Let's check it out. Right. Now, the benefits of the sauna suit. There are a number of sauna suits, shirts and pants available. There's no clinical research to back up their claims. The companies selling these suits suggest benefits such as weight loss and detoxification through sweat. This website is like anti. Never mind. Screw you, Healthline. You're not helping out my case here. Let me go to one that's a little more pro sauna suit. All right, here we go. Sauna suits can promote more sweating than typical workouts. Well, obviously, we all know that, which some people find beneficial for feeling lighter and more energetic after a workout. Now, I used the sauna suit not 2 hours ago, and I can back that up. When I go on the old treadmill, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I get tired, and I get, I don't know. I just can't wait to get off of that thing. But I don't know what it is about the sauna suit. Now, maybe it's the old mind playing games on me, but when I had that sauna suit on, I felt more energetic. I truly did. I swear on the Bible that I felt more energetic. And I had that, I don't ever go, I out of shape, right? So I'm more of a walker on the old treadmill. But all of a sudden I had that bad boy up to 5.5. I had it up to 6.0. And I was running for a good minute and a half, 2 minutes at a time. And, usually I just stick to the walking because I'm out of shape guy. But I felt more energetic. And I don't know if that's I don't know what that has to do with the sweat production, but it just felt more, I don't know. I can't explain it. You're just going to have to believe me. You're just going to have to believe me about that. It also there's potential for improved thermal regulation. Now, studies suggest that sauna suits may help athletes adapt to heat and improve thermal regulation during exercise. Now, I don't know what thermal regulation is, but it's getting improved, and that's a big one. Now, here's one that I thought was kind of interesting. Some research indicates that sauna suits may increase fat oxidation, the process of burning fat for energy post-workout. Now, what I've read, now again, this is not a lose weight fast scheme. It's just a helper for losing weight. And basically what I mean by that is when your body gets that warm. This is my understanding of it. For any of you health nuts out there, you can tell me if I'm wrong. But when the body gets that warm, it tries to, it burns more calories, right? Your body's warmer, blood's flowing faster, everything's working more efficient potentially. And in return, you burn more calories than if you were to not wear one of these sauna suits. I would love to see the stats on that. I would bet money that if you wore a sauna suit versus not wearing a sauna suit and you did the exact same workout, that you would burn more calories wearing the sauna suit. Now, in the long run, you burn an extra 100 calories a day, 200 calories a day, let's say, in a workout. That's 700 to 1,400 calories a week. Well, in 3 weeks, you got yourself an extra pound of weight loss. Now, 3 weeks, and we all know 13 times 3 is 52, right? No, not even close. I don't know what 52 divided by 3 is. It would be 15, 30 to 45. So it's got to be like 16. 16, 32, 40. Let's try 17. 17, 34, 44 plus, that'd be 51 weeks. So it's like 17 weeks. So, I don't know. So 17 weeks. There's 17 3-week periods in a year, give or take. So 17. So that's an extra 17 pounds is what I'm getting at. 17 pounds, man, in a year. I lost 25. I could almost doubled that if I would have included the sauna suit, potentially. That's what I'm getting at. It's long term, baby. May improve VO2 max. Sauna suits might help improve VO2 max, the maximum amount of oxygen your body can utilize during exercise. And like I said, man, you know what was crazy? Here's some things that I took away from wearing the sauna suit, right? It's that time of year where I have some allergies going on. Feel like complete garbage. Congested. I got to get the Navage out. I haven't gotten the Navage out. I got to get that bad boy out and suck this shit out of my forehead. But when I wore the sauna suit tonight on the treadmill, working out, getting a good sweat going, whoo, god damn was I sweating. My nose was running like a faucet. Now, that might sound gross and disgusting, because it was gross and disgusting, but my nose was running like a faucet, and I felt so clear. I can't even tell you how clear I felt. My, congestion just went away, and, because of the heat. Now, I've heard, like, if you have congestion, you should take a hot shower, and the steam will And I think there's probably something to the sauna suit with my body temperature getting to that level of warmness that it just everything just my sinuses were running, they were running like a I'm trying to trying to come up with a joke here, running like a refrigerator. That's all I got. It's all I got. They were running like a refrigerator, and it sucks. I know it's terrible. Jesus, crumps. I don't know. What are you gonna do? I wasn't ready for that joke, and just came to me. But it was running like a refrigerator, which was phenomenal. And also, I noticed that now here's a con. Dehydration and overheating can also lead to muscle cramps, nausea, dizziness, and other uncomfortable side effects. Well, here's the deal. Here's how you combat that. If you are going now, I remind you, this is not I'm not telling you to do anything. If you wear a sauna suit and die, I'm not liable because of what I'm about to say. When I wore the sauna suit, the old idea is that you wear the sauna suit, you lose all this weight, and you make weigh-in. I'm obviously not trying to make weight anymore. And I'm not wearing it for that purpose. I'm wearing it for these other reasons. So I was drinking water like it was going out of style. I didn't get dehydrated. I lost a lot of water from sweat, but I didn't get dehydrated because I was sucking water I was sucking water I should have wrote some of these down. I was sucking water what sucks water? What sucks water? I was sucking water. I was sucking water like Lil Wayne sucks a lollipop. Right? Ain't that a song? Lollipop. My lollipop. Ain't that a song? Lil Wayne song? Like 15 years ago? And like a lollipop. I'm pretty sure that was a song. And I actually like it. I liked that song. And then he came out with like this rock and roll record. Well, it wasn't rock. It was like, well, yeah, a rock record. You guys remember that when Lil Wayne came out with a rock record? It was pretty sweet. I thought it was cool. And that song, he did that song again as a rock song. Gosh darn it. That should be song of the week. But I already got a different one. But that might be a future song of the week. The rock version of Lollipop by Lil Wayne. Anyway, I was sucking water like Lil Wayne sucks on a lollipop. And so I never got dehydrated. I never got dizzy. I never got any of that stuff. And the muscle cramps, to be honest with you, my muscles felt loose. They felt fantastic. I think it was, again, because of the heat. They felt fantastic. I didn't feel any. I mean, my back was kind of aching beforehand, and now it feels fantastic. My legs, I usually get some tight muscles in my legs, but they feel like Jell-O right now. It was fantastic. I would highly recommend. Now, there's a lot of benefits to a sauna, right? There's, the Norwegians, I believe, were sit in saunas all the time. That's a big thing. I think it's Norway. Well, anyway, if you can't afford a sauna like me, or you don't have room for a sauna like me, well, get yourself a sauna suit for $60. Run on the treadmill. It's a twofer. You work out, and also you get a good sweat going. Now, another thing about the sweat. Now, I saw some remarks here that say, like, it's bullshit, but the detoxification. Now, when it said detoxification, I goes sold right then and there. Even if it's just a little bit of detoxification, that's better than no detoxification. I'll tell you that right now. Because I'll tell you one thing. My liver, I don't think it works for hell. I don't think it works at all. My liver, kidneys, shit. They don't do their job. I know that for a fact. And I saw any sort of extra detoxification I can get, I'm getting it. So I got this old sauna suit. I'm sweating like a whore in church. There's a good one. They go, old classic, sweating like a whore in church, and yeah, all that, all that stuff. Inflammatory, it's supposed to help with inflammatory. I don't know what the hell's the big deal about being inflamed, other than, kind of like being bloated or whatever. But everyone's always like, inflammation. Bleh. I don't really know what the big deal is. I don't want to be inflamed. I'm not telling you that I'm trying to be inflamed. I'm just saying, I don't know. Is that going to kill you? Is being inflamed going to kill you? I don't know. I have no idea. I know you might feel a little. I think it's more like your clothes don't fit that well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been inflamed for 37 years. You know what I'm saying? But I think inflamed is what I don't understand is why it's called inflamed. From my understanding, inflamed means that you have extra water, right? Inflammation. What does that mean? Inflammation. Give me a second. Inflammation. Inflammation. An immune response that causes redness and swelling of an area or on the body or possibly tissues within the body. Inflammation is your immune response to injury, infection. It promotes healing but can harm you if it affects healthy tissues. I thought inflammation had something to do with water. Like inflammation was, I guess that's what swelling would be, right? Extra water or something like that. I could be totally off on that. Eliminate initial. Too little information can lead to progressive tissue destruction. However, information can also have negative effects. Acute inflammation is an initial response is achieved by increased movement of plasma. Well, I'm not seeing the word water in this at all. I don't know where I got that from. I thought inflammation had something to do with water. And then I was going to say something about how doesn't water put out a flame? So they should change the name, but I can't say that because I guess it has nothing to do with water. I don't know. I apologize for wasting the last minute and 37 seconds of your life, but I don't know, man. I'm telling you right now. Another So moral of the story. Moral of the story is when it comes to the pros and cons of the sauna suit, I think the pros outweigh the... Now, again, you have to do it... you have to be mindful of what you're doing and be safe and drink water. Drink water. But if you're doing that, I think all the other pros are fantastic. Like I love the idea of sweating like a pig and getting all that shit out of my body and then replenishing with water. Ladies and gentlemen, I never meant this to be a health podcast, and it's not. It's not. We got to talk about grass again here in the near future. Spring is in the air. I hope you got your lawnmowers tuned up, baby. But I've been doing so much research. I have this goal of another thing it's supposed to help with is your immune system. Sauna suits an immune system. Because you hear me sniffling back here, and it's because I got these allergies. Now the congestion's starting to come back a little bit. But it's also, sauna suits are also supposed to do sauna. Is it okay to work out and run in a sauna suit every day? High school students, some wrestlers would die. But that's the thing. It's not. You're not supposed to. You got to drink water, man. There's a time and place for most things, but do you know the optimal time and place? I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying you got to do this every single day. I'm just saying that I don't know. I think it's something to look into. Sauna suits. I think it's something to look into. Okay, let's get to emails here before the old phone dies on me. It's so late. It's 11:15 as I'm doing this on a Monday night. I got to get up for work in the morning. I was just, fucking lost track of time, you know what I'm saying? And all I think about right now is the pillow on my bed, going to sleep like a little baby. But I came down here to give you guys the podcast you ask for. So you're welcome. And what do I get in return? What do I get in return? I don't know. We'll see. All right. We got an email from the sauce here. Thank God for like 3 or 4 people out there that actually email. I don't know. What do I have to do to get you guys to email this show? What do I have to do to get you to email the show? It's J-Kenn, OAG at outlook.com. That's JKENN. 2 N's in there. Maybe that's why I'm not getting emails. See, you guys got to put that second N in there, man. At outlook.com or on the Facebook. I know you're all looking at Facebook 7 hours a day anyway. So look up the Ordinary Average Guy podcast show and send a message. This week I have 0 messages. I have 2 emails. Thank God for the sauce. Sauce, if you're listening, buddy. Thank you very much. All right. He says, congrats. Great job on winning your weight loss challenge. Now that you want to keep going, I have a word of advice. Oh my God. I have a word of advice. I can't even read. Kid can't even read. Another Adam Sandler movie. Billy Madison. Don't let the number on the scale say how much success you have accomplished. Amen, brother. Amen. Especially with weight lifting. Your weight will go down and up as you build muscle and lose fat. The main thing is to keep doing it healthy. Fantastic. Coming from my experience, there are a lot of ways to cut weight in a very unhealthy way. Well, sauna suits. On HBO Sports, they had a whole episode on MMA fighters basically passing out on the weigh-in scale as their bodies were shutting down. Ugly. I have a friend who is just a naturally big farm kid. Hell yeah, brother. Throwing bales around like they're fucking... oh, man, I had so many opportunities to come up with some good, and I don't even know what the word is. Throwing bales around like they're, I don't know. Sorry, it's late. Man, I have a friend who is naturally just big farm kid. He was once on the keto or some crazy diet thing. At one point, he was down to 220 or so, and he looked so weak and sick. He also has worked very hard at trying to be in good physical shape, and his motivation was past family health history. I give that man and yourself a world of credit. Stay healthy and keep up the good work. The sauce. Yeah, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Thanks for the email. Yeah, that MMA, they're probably, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. The night before my weigh-in, I was definitely looking up some MMA videos. Like, how do I just lose another quick 5 pounds just to be on the safe side? In hindsight, I didn't have to because I kicked the shit out of those guys. But yeah, I was looking it up, and those guys, I was watching this one guy who was on Rogan, Bro Rogan, and he's like, normally his walking around weight's 180, but he fights at 155. You know what I mean? He cuts that much weight. It's crazy. It's a lot of weight to cut out. A lot of weight. And we all know when you lose weight that fast, it's not the good weight. It's not the good weight. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys that. If you lose weight fast, it is not the good weight. I don't care what you're telling yourself. It's not the good weight. The good weight comes off slowly. It's math. It's math. You lose 10 pounds in a week, you did not burn 35,000 calories. You did not have a 35,000 calorie deficit. You didn't have it. It's not possible. You lost water weight is what it was. Oh, I wish these diets would stop talking about weight loss as a benefit. They should talk about the other stuff. Like, for example, my cholesterol, my doctor, you know, that guy that I go see every year and he doesn't help me out at all. He's not listening. Anyway, I guess my cholesterol's getting high. And he's always yelling at me, you got to stop eating bread, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, I haven't been eating. It's got to be a family thing. My mom and dad both have high cholesterol. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be a family trait or some stuff. But obviously, there's maybe other things a person could do. Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting at is these diets are not. If the word diet is in the name, keto diet, I don't know. I don't like that. It should be keto lifestyle, man. It's lifestyle choices, man. That's what it's about. Um, Thanks, Sauce, for writing in. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at the scale once a month from here on out. Once a month. You know what I'm saying? Once a month. Until I get to a weight, which I don't even give a shit about my weight anymore, but I would like to be a certain weight. There is a weight I'd like to be. 215 is the number. I would like to be 215. But if I get to 215 though, I am 1000% just maintaining. I don't want to be small. Like I said, I'm naturally a big farm kid too, man. I'm just naturally a ripped brick shithouse. Just natural. It's just natural. It's just natural. I'm ripped like a piece of paper, baby. Yeah, it's a good one. I'm ripped like a piece of paper. And I don't want to get thin. I don't want to be. I don't. No offense to people that are real skinny. No offense to you, but I don't want to be real skinny. I want a little bit of meat on the bones. You know what I'm saying? I want to be more. Yeah, whatever. I talked enough about that. We have a message here from our good friend Mel. She writes in advice. She says, "Hey there. I've tried to implement your budgeting tool, but I'm struggling with something and looking for advice. All of my paychecks are different amounts. Any suggestions on how to implement this into your budgeting sheet?" Okay, Mel, thank you very much for emailing. A while back, I'll have to look up episode. I think it was episode, I don't know what episode it was. It was something about budgeting. I'm a big budgeting guy. I'm a big spreadsheet guy. I love a good spreadsheet. Oh, god damn. Love a good spreadsheet. You guys watch your porn. I watch YouTube videos on how to make formulas on spreadsheets. I love a good spreadsheet. Ooh. Anyway, I made a budgeting spreadsheet, and a while back I talked about it. Mel was kind enough to reach out, and she wanted a copy of that spreadsheet, which I sent her. Now, I understand where she's coming from here because me and my wife are both salaried employees, right? I have a salary that I make the same amount of money, whether I work 40 hours a week or 100, right? Same amount of money. My wife, she brings in the same amount of money every 2 weeks as well. Zero is the number. And, so we have the same amount of money, so it's easy to do the spreadsheet. In your case, Mel, what I would suggest, I always suggest to err on the side of conservative. Ooh, the C word, conservative. Ugh, nah, you bastard. Because then you're safe. So what I would do personally is I would figure out how much money you're going to make at least, right? Now, in your situation, I'm guessing if it's different every week, you must be an hourly employee. That would make sense. And if you are going to for sure work 40 hours a week, well, then I would use that number. And then any money you make above and beyond that, you would keep you keep in your savings account or I would say keep in your savings account. Because if you put it in your checking account, you're just going to spend it. And you don't want to do that. You want to save it and invest it maybe even. So that's what I would do. Now, if you have a job out there, let's say you're a salesperson, right? You're making commish. I would look at your history. Look at the history. Look at your previous year, and maybe look at the month that you didn't make as much, right? Let's say the month of December you historically just don't do that well, right? Let's say you're selling boats and in December, the boat sales just aren't that great. Oh, look at that number and use that number for your budget, okay? Because in that case, you always will be covered. You can understand what I'm saying? Another thing you could do is another idea is that if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you haven't seen the spreadsheet, I guess you want to know. Mel reached out. She knows what the spreadsheet looks like. I have a spot there for like a cushion, right? Because in like my savings account or checking account or whatever, I have all the things that I have that I need to spend. Like you got to pay your electric bill. You have to pay your uh, water bill, right? You have to, like your OnlyFans subscription, you got to pay that monthly. So you pay all these things every month. And then you have a cushion in your checking account or savings account where you budget money to go into that cushion. It's kind of like a buffer. And you can put money in that buffer. So that means everything you need to spend money on, you have the money accounted for. And then if you do make a little less one month, then it just comes off the buffer. The buffer is there as a buffer. If you make extra money, you get a little bit of extra money in your account one month. And then if you make a little less money, at least your essentials are covered. Now, if you are having a job where like one month you make like an insane amount of money and then the very next month you make nothing, I'd have to do a little bit more thinking on that. I am in my case here, I'm hoping it's kind of like pretty goddamn close. Maybe $100 off, $200 off. But if you're talking like $1,000 off, we might have to look into a totally different program for you on that one. Where maybe you would think of things more quarterly or bi-monthly, where you would budget based off of 2 months, right? And then you would have the month, so you make enough money and then it's like, okay, now you got 2 months to spend. Like I work with a lot of people that get laid off. They're seasonal employees, right? So they got to make their money in like 7 months and then they get 5 months off. Well, you need to do your budget in a way that you have the money to help you survive through those 5 months where you're not getting income. So in that case, the idea is to really figure out what you need to spend money on every month. If you don't have it, you will be out on the street, right? You got to pay the mortgage. You got to pay your bills. You just have to do it. You got to buy groceries. You have to put gas in the car. There's just certain things you have to do. So, and to be honest, you don't need that OnlyFans subscription. You don't need it. It's nice to have, but you don't need it. Or Netflix or whatever your entertainment is. Now, in that case, that would be secondary. But you want to make sure that you got your essentials figured out. And then you want to make sure that you have enough money to cover that. And now I'm not talking about Mel in particular, I'm just talking in general. If you don't have enough money to cover that, well, then you got to do some soul searching. Is this apartment maybe a little bit too fancy for me? Do I really need the Heinz ketchup? Yeah. It would be nice to have the Heinz ketchup, but god damn it, if you can't afford it, you might have to get the off-brand ketchup. And there is a difference. There is a difference, but you got to know that if you budget correctly and you save money, that eventually you'll have that financial freedom to buy the Heinz ketchup. That's the idea. So I would be more than happy to work with anyone on their budget. I'm very proud of my financial stat, and I don't want this to come off as bragging. I definitely am not rich. I do not. I'm not a CEO of a company. I'm a middle class person, but I firmly believe that because of my budgeting and because of my spreadsheet, I don't want this to come off the wrong way because I don't want to sound like I'm arrogant or I just don't want to come off as rich because I don't like rich people. But I'm going to tell you when we get bills in the mail, I do not freak out about it because the money is accounted for. And to be honest with you, if there's something that we don't need, we don't have it. So you got to budget. You got to budget. You got to budget. If you're not, if you're just winging it, man, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you, dude. You got to budget. But yeah, anyway, and it's short story long, Mel. I would probably, another thing you could do is, let's say you get paid twice a month. This is what I used to do. Let's say you get paid every 2 weeks, right? Well, if you get paid every 2 weeks, there is those 2 months where you get paid 3 times, baby. What I always did back in those days, now I get paid twice a month. But back in the days when I would get paid 3 times a month, twice a month, I would do my budget based on 2 checks. That's what I did. I did my budget based on 2 checks. And then when I got that 3rd check twice a month or 2 times a year, whoo, baby. Dude, that was like free money. Now now back in the day, I wasn't as much of a saver as I am now or into it, but yeah, I'd buy something cool probably. But you could, that's extra money. That's another way to look at it. So I don't know how you're set up, how you get paid every 2 weeks, or if it's twice a month, 15th and the 30th, or whatever. I don't know. But long story, what I was also going to say is you could take the average. Let's say, historically speaking, you get paid twice a month. Let's say 15th is a smaller check. The 30th is a bigger check. I would take the average of, you take the whole month. Never mind. That's a dumb excuse because you take your monthly salary anyway. Here's another little tidbit on what I do personally. Save up some money. Now, we talked about rainy day funds. Dave Ramsey, right? Rainy day account. I have one. If the furnace goes out, so be it. I got a rainy day account, baby. Having that rainy day account is so awesome. But what I also have is I have the money in my checking and savings I saved up also, and have enough money in my checking and savings to start the month out, and the money's already there. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to work at this. You have to save money. You have to get to this point. But I'm not starting at zero, if you will. I'm not. I don't need to wait for the check to pay the bill. If I need, for the sake of math, if I need $2,000 a month to pay for the shit that I expect to pay for, I start the month off with the $2,000 in the account. And then I pay my stuff, and then I replenish the account so I'm ready for the next month. So that, what I'm saying? So if you do your budget and you need to, in that way, also, if you do have some checks that are a little goofy, it's not too much of a, eventually it's going to catch up to you. But if it's just a once in a while thing, you start the month off with the money in the account. Now, it takes a while to get there, right? Because you're going to want to pay off your debt. You get rid of that debt, man. Oh, those credit cards. My wife, she loves using credit cards. Oh, I get points. Oh, I get all these points. And it's like, whoa, I have yet to see what you use those points on. Yet to see it. I want to bring my, I have an uncle who's young. He's not much older than I am. He's only like 5 years older than I am. He's more like a cousin, but he's an uncle because my mom had me really young. Anyway, so I got this uncle who's like a cousin. He is pro credit card, right? He's one of these guys that has like all these, like a bunch of credit cards, and he uses this credit card for groceries. He uses this credit card for gas. He uses this credit card for whatever. And you have to make sure you use the right credit cards at the right store, and then he gets all these points. And I'll give him credit. I don't know the exact details, but him and my aunt and their kids. I mean, they're going on trips. They're doing stuff, and I asked him. I say, "Hey, man," and he's like, "Yeah, you get points for mileage and stuff like that, and you can use that for plane tickets. And they're going to cool places. They go to Europe and Hawaii, and I mean, they got good jobs too. That probably helps out. But the credit card thing, like, so he's pro credit card, but I asked him, I said, well, you pay that off he pays it off every month. So he doesn't have the credit card debt. He pays it off every month. So I want him on the show to talk about this, because this, I think, is something, because I'm anti-credit card, but that's only because Dave Ramsey says so. But if you do your budget correctly and you stick to your budget, you then could, in theory, you could use the credit card and then just pay it off at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? The reason I don't like that, though, is because I was in credit card debt when I was younger. I had credit card debt. And I remember having that goddamn plastic in your wallet. You just, maybe not everyone's like this, but a lot of people are, for a fact, because credit card debt is just so out of control. It's because you think you have free money, and you don't. You have to pay it back eventually. And I know it's a lot of, credit card, and the interest rate on those things are just insane. So the only reason I'm anti-credit card, because I know we would be good with it and we would just pay it off, but I'm just afraid, because it's a slippery slope, and I'm afraid would just get in that habit of buying stuff we don't need, and that scares me. But I want to get him on the show to talk about that. It's been a while since I had a guest, but anyway, Mel, short story long. I hope that helped you out. It kind of depends on a couple of things, but from a 30,000 foot view, take the least, take the check that's the least amount. But to be honest with you, I do my budget based on the month. So if one check's a little smaller, one check's a little bigger, I just add them together, and that's how I do my budget, based on the month. So maybe that's all I needed to say. Maybe that's all I needed to say. All right, that is that. Unordinary opinion. Now, this, I might have said this one. This is what, my 48th unordinary opinion. It's like, geez. I was at the store today, and I'm going to tell you one thing right now. I am so sick of these self-checkout. And I think because people do like them. They have to, because I'll see open aisles where there's a person waiting to check someone out, and people will purposely go to the self-checkout line. So people must like them. I just don't. I hate them. I would rather stand in line and wait my turn to check out with a human being, with someone that is paid to be there to do her job, than check out myself. I am not going to the store to work. That's not why I'm there. I'm there to buy my stuff and leave. And the couple of times I went to a checkout line, I can't get the goddamn thing to work. It's not scanning properly. And then a person comes over and helps me out anyway. There's this lady standing there every time, like, oh, she walks over by you, she damn near does it for you. But it's like, then I'm kind of like, well, lady, I'm here. I chose to do this. Get out of here. Get the frick out of here. I'm doing this, But it's like, just, if I go to this, so there was one time, I swear to God, I was at Walmart, I think. And Walmart, I don't go there often, but one time I was there, and it was like, They went balls deep with the self-checkout lines. Like, they had no aisles open. It was all self-checkout. And I just remember I went right to the self-checkout. I said, hey. She walked over. I said, do this. So I'm not doing it. I never signed an application. I never filled out an application. I never signed a document saying I was working here. I'm not doing it. Do it. She did. One of the proudest moments of my life. One of the proudest moments of my life. So, if I were you, I would like, we're trying to do some things here. Mocks over Crocs, right? That's a movement that I'm trying to do. Mocks over Crocs. Another movement I'm trying to do here is, if you're at the store, don't just boycott the self-checkout. Boycott it and go to a person. Stand in line. Go to the person, say, how are you doing today? How was your day? Yes, I found everything I needed to find. There was a person. Chuck helped me find the barbecue sauce. To have a nice conversation. You're going to make their day. You will feel better. And go on your merry way. That's what we need in this world. Self-checkout line is a way to avoid people, and that's the last thing we need right now. We need to not avoid people. The opposite. We need to not avoid. We need to void them, right? Would that be the opposite of avoid? Is to void? I'm going to void everyone I can. I don't know if that's grammar is correct. I don't even know if I used the word grammar correctly. I don't know. I'm not an English professor. I'm just telling you should go to the nice old lady at Festival Foods and let her check you out. And also let her check you out. Woo! All right. We are going to do a song of the week here. And this one's for Christmas, Kate. This one's for Christmas, Kate. Ladies and gentlemen, the song of the week is bop, 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 doo doo bop, 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 bop. I think that's the name of the song. It's a long name of a song. Bop, bop, bop by Hanson. Those three sisters. I crack myself up. Anyway, thank you for spending your time with me on this podcast. I greatly appreciate it. I believe the weather is going to get warmer, and you'll be able to turn those windows down and oh my God, roll the windows down and turn that radio up and bop all the way to work on a beautiful day with the birds chirping. Remember, don't be one of those rich pricks. Be an ordinary average guy like me. Life will be so much better. Accept it. Accept being ordinary and average. Once you do, it's the most amazing thing in the world. It truly is. Accept being ordinary and average, and your life, it'll be less stressful. I swear to God. I swear to God, it will be less stressful. So, love you. Love you all, and we'll see you next week.